Hey guys, so here's the question. Can I turn my existing 8 hives into 100 hives in the next 12 months? I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step breakdown how I can turn 8 of my hives into 100 hives in the next 12 months. If you would like to see my well-devised plan, my breakdowns on all the ways that I can do it, and the pros and cons of both methods that I've decided to use, then this is definitely the video for you. Or if you are a beekeeper and you are looking to expand your apiary rapidly in the next 12 months, well then this is definitely the video you want to watch. Let's see if this plan will actually work out and get me to that 100 hive goal that I have in the next 12 months. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to have the setup I'm going to have on the apiary. I cannot do it right now because in South Africa we are actually heading into winter, so I'm a little bit afraid of adding on this adding on the extra boxes right now because the temperature does vary. We still have a lot of sun. I mean, the sun is out today, it is fairly hot, but I don't want to put too much pressure on the bees. So next week I'm actually getting my pollen buckets, which I can make some patties for them. Then I'm going to see if I'm going to add on this setup. But I just want to give you guys an overview of what the setup is going to look like for each one of my brood factories. Now is I'm going to show you the setup that I'm going to be using for my brood factories. So I did a lot of research, and unfortunately right now I cannot put the brood factories up because we are heading into winter. I know in the other parts of the world it is really nice and hot, but here in South Africa we are now heading into June, which is normally the heart of our winter, and I don't want to put too much stress on the bees unnecessarily, but I thought let me show you guys what the setup is going to look like. Then you guys can get an idea of what I'm going to be doing. I am really excited to showcase my strategy and to see if I can take 8 hives into 100 hives in 12 months. I do believe with the system I should be able to do it, and I do believe that the bees that I have at the moment are powerful enough to do this for me. First thing you're going to do is, this is the idea. So I'm going to have my brood box, which is a 10 frame brood box. Now one of the things that I do with my brood boxes is I don't put in 10 frames. I have 9 frames inside of my brood box. It's a standard brood box, nothing fancy, just its bottom is attached, so this is not a detachable bottom. I prefer it this way because my apiary is outside, and we do have things like monkeys and baboons and stuff, and they tend to scratch around when there's honey. If they do get stung, they will run away from it, but they are very inquisitive animals. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place another brood box on top. So this is going to fit like this. So I'm going to have the bottom one and the top one, and then obviously my setup has another 9 frames in here. So this is 18 frames of honey, brood and bees. So this is the setup that I have for my brood factories. I do not turn any hive into a brood factory until I have this setup. And the way I achieve this is I literally start with the bottom box, and every single time I do an inspection and I have some brood at the bottom, I will take 2 of the outside frames and I will take 2 of the inside frames, and I will actually bring them onto the top, enclose that 4 frames, put 2 new frames on the side. But here in South Africa, we work with the African honeybee. They don't need a reason to swarm, guys. I'm serious when I say that. If I sometimes just open a hive at the wrong time, the queen can get really mad and she will literally just whoop out of the hive and she'll go and sit on a branch there with some of the bees. So that means I've got 9 frames in the bottom, I've got 9 frames at the top. Now normally you would have a lid that goes on top of here, but what I've done, I've built these myself, is I've actually built out of plywood. I've built my own setup here, so this is what it's going to look like. So once this box is ready, I will remove the lid, and then I will place what I call my brood factory on top. So this is another box that goes on top. I did make this myself, so it goes nice and flush on here. And this box actually has only 5 frames in it. So I will take 2 frames from the bottom, so 2 frames with brood. I will extract from the top box or the bottom box, depending on which one I like. It will be one. So all the frames that I will extract is not small larvae on that. It is capped over brood. I will extract them at the bottom and I will drop them in the top here. I am following Mike Palmer's system of creating brood factories. I'm really hoping that this system is going to work, and it's also going to take away that consistent impulse from our queens that they want to swarm. So this will be the top. So this is the actual brood factory. It doesn't have a base, guys, so let me just show you here. So I just put in normal frames. These frames will actually get a wax foundation on it, not a full wax foundation. So what I do, just to give them a job, because like I said, our bees like to swarm, so I would normally just give them like half like foundation on the frame. So I'd actually just put like half of it on here, there, so you guys, so half of it, and then I'll leave the rest to the bees to finish it off for me. Our bees are quite nice. The moment they've built done at least half of the frame, they will continue filling up the frame. So this has a no bottom at the bottom, and it's pretty much a very simple design. It's just 4 planks, and it's got a bit of a handle here for me to manage it, and the frames actually rest on here. So there's nothing fancy about this. They're cheap, really easy to make. I am going to drop this design in the description every single time I do an update on this video, so you can simply go to your local hardware store and you can go and pick up a single piece of wood, and you can literally just build these for yourself. You don't need to buy them. I couldn't buy any of them in South Africa, so that's why I went and built them. But this is basic shutter ply. So this is wood that they use to build shutter with. It's nice and thick. I would simply just take this design to my local hardware. They've already got the size there, and they've also got the size of the pieces that I want them to cut. So I just pay them a small fee, and they will do the big cuts, or they'll do all the cuts for me. And when it gets here, I simply just use my nail gun to put it together. I mean, it's really cost effective. This is really cheap to make. But then this setup will go on here. Let me rather put it this side so I can show you guys on the other side. So this will go on here. Nice. Then I will then use this as my lid. My lid will go on here with 2 feeders. So the feeders will literally, I've built them myself. It's easy. I'm going to do a video about it. I'm just going to pop it in there, the 2 feeders here. 2 feeders for the bees, because when you do this, you need the bees to be well fed. So I'm going to put the one here, and then I will put an additional feeder, because remember, I just drew a lot of comb out the top here. I will put a second lid on here with 2 feeding holes. So it's literally got 4 top feeders on here, and then the bees can then have enough nutrition. So there's nutrition in this box for the bees to fill up these frames, as well as the top here for them to maintain this brood. Because for you guys that don't know, capped over brood, the nursing bees will not take care of it anymore. They've done their job, so they're going to take care of the small larvae, they're going to take care of the small pupas, and that they're not going to be taking care of the capped over. But I do think this setup is going to work nicely for winter as well. And at the apiary right now, I have 5 boxes that already have a double brood, which are ready to go for the setup, but I just want it to get a little bit hotter. But this is basically the setup I'm going to test for the next 3 months. Alright guys, so now you've had a look at what a brood factory looks like and what my concept is and how I'm going to be expanding this. Now, yes, as I said to you guys before, this is going to be a lot more costly, because every single frame needs to have foundation on it. That is a fairly big expense for us, especially as beekeepers, because the foundation is fairly expensive, and I've got to be building a lot of these boxes. So I have a freebie for you guys. If you go down in the description of the video, I've actually linked the exact design of the boxes that I've used. So yes, unfortunately they are in centimeters and millimeters. So for the American guys, you need to convert the inches. I don't really know that, but our boxes are in centimeters and millimeters. So if you're in South Africa or you work with centimeters or millimeters, what I would suggest you do is go to your local hardware store, take the design that you can get from us and just give it to your local hardware store. We have a lot of them in South Africa where we just give them a design and say, okay, take the sheet and cut it for me into so many pieces, which is really great because then you just need to do the assembly at home. So it's fairly easy. I think you guys would have seen it's fairly easy because it's not a lot of input to actually build these 5-frame nukes, but I think this is really going to work well and I'll keep you guys up to date. So if you guys want the design, make sure to click on the link in the bottom. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video and liked what I'm doing, please give me a subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. It really helps. You have no idea how much it helps to grow your channel. Hit that thumbs up, and then I will see you guys in the next episode.